you think Malenia, like, might just be, like, lactose intolerant?
She could be, honestly. Like,
That's what I was thinking.
if you really think about it, like, is it rot or is it a little stinky?
The question is, do that thing be stankin'? I mean, do it?
Don't it?
Much like the rest of us, Malenia's story begins at birth. According to her great rune, Malenia is the daughter of Queen Marika and Radagon, and her great rune should have been the most sacred of all. Tragically, Malenia was afflicted with something truly vile, an affliction so severe that Malenia could not realize her full potential as an Empyrean, and would ultimately come to pledge allegiance to her brother, Miquella. Elden Ring does not provide many details on the nature of her rot, but there is sufficient evidence to conclude that the true source lies deep within her biology. Malenia is lactose intolerant. Let's first look at Malenia's relationship with her brother, which is widely interpreted from cut content. Miquella and Malenia represent the conflicting forces of abundance and decay. Where Miquella thrives, Malenia lacks. Now, what is lactose intolerance? According to the Mayo Clinic, lactose intolerance typically occurs when the small intestine fails to produce sufficient lactase, an enzyme critical to the digestion of dairy products. Symptoms can include nausea, diarrhea, and gas so putrid that organic beings are repelled from the vicinity. The Mayo Clinic also states that many people manage lactose intolerance without sacrificing dairy foods. The existence of such a condition is parallel to larger themes of intolerance that exist in the lands between. The Halig tree is considered a safe haven for many beings which were not welcomed elsewhere. This includes Albinaurics, the Misbegotten, and possibly even Malenia herself. The Halig tree, in fact, is representative of Malenia's affliction. The land is covered in mushrooms, pests, and not to mention life-sized rolls of toilet paper. The description for the Oracle envoys reads, "No one knows what the cloth hides, but some claim to have heard a faint whimpering from inside." Malenia's condition would certainly lead to whimpering for those with olfactory capabilities, and I can only hope that at least their soft cloth is 2-ply. Of course, we couldn't discuss Malenia without evaluating her loyal troops. The Clean Rot Knights vowed to fight alongside Malenia, despite the inevitable, if gradual, putrefaction of their flesh. Their acceptance of their fate made these battles the fiercest of all. Finley is perhaps the most valiant of the knights. Her ashes state, "Finley was one of the few survivors of the Battle of Aeonia, who, in an unimaginable act of heroism, carried the slumbering demigod Malenia all the way back to the Halig tree." According to WebMD, flatulence is extremely common while sleeping, and the spoils of such gas much more severe in the case of lactose intolerance. This further highlights Finley's selflessness in service of her commander.
The scarlet bloom flowers once more. You will witness true horror.
And what of the Scarlet Bloom? Without getting too into the scientific details, there is really only one logical explanation for such horror, and that is that the scarlet bloom is hemorrhoids. Lactose intolerance is a devastating condition that affects millions of people. Malenia's ambition in the face of such affliction is inspiring. Now, if she can only stay away from dairy,